Welcome to the New Jerusalem Worship Center. My name is Robert Isaiah, and I'm here with the one and only Minister Debi Dixon. How are you?
I'm good, really good.
Good. And I want to thank you for coming out and talking with me, and we get a chance to really build with each other.
Absolutely.
So for the past year or so, I've really been paying attention to you and just watching how you worship, and it's amazing. And I wanted to ask you a few things. And how did you get there? Your ability to worship is nothing I've ever seen before, and I really mean that.
Wow. Well, how did I get there? That's a good question. And it's a hard question.
Yeah.
It's a process. I think that you don't just immediately know how to worship God. I think that, and there's not a how-to book, quote unquote. It's where God basically bases our worship, and the effectiveness of our worship is upon our relationship with Him.
Right.
So worship really expresses the heart. And so if you've been in a relationship with God and you have given Him your heart, it's easy to worship.
Right. And what is worship? What does that mean to you?
Worship to me is an expression of my relationship with Him. It's the response to the things that He's done for me, the things that He does throughout the year, throughout my life, storms, things you go through. So when I worship Him because not so much of what He's done, even though I have done that, but I worship Him for who He is. And He commands that we worship Him in spirit and in truth, as you know.
Absolutely. And I was listening to your single, No Longer a Slave.
Wow.
Amazing song.
Thank you.
It's an amazing song. I've been streaming it on Spotify.
Wow.
I probably gave you about 500 streams this week alone with that song. It really brought me to a place, and my understanding, what I took from it is, I'm giving my life to God. I am no longer a slave of just living in fear. Living in fear. Once you just hearing the words in that song and really listening to it, letting it minister to me, and it releases a burden that I carry. And what are your thoughts on that song? Like, how did you get to that place with that song, and what was the process like with that?
What you're saying is exactly the response that we wanted. This song, I did not personally write the song. This song is written by an artist from Bethel Music.
Right.
However, the song grasped my heart when I listened to it too, because I think that a lot of times people don't realize that we really are slaves to stuff. We're slaves to our emotions. We're slaves to the things people say.
Right.
We're slaves to religion. We're slaves to habits, situations. And so when you get to a point in your life where you don't want things or people or circumstances to control you, you fight for the release, And when you think of what slavery is an involuntary act, something that's forced on you.
Right.
Not something that you volunteer, but something that's forced on you. So the song represents being able to come to a point in your life where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you want change.
Amen.
So you say to yourself, you make the confession, I'm not a slave to this anymore. I'm not a slave to drugs. I'm not a slave to alcohol. I'm not a slave to people, comments, personal opinions. I'm free from all of that, and because I know who I am. And when you know who you are and who you belong to, it's just kind of flows, like you said, it flows.
And that's how the song ministered to me. So you definitely did a great job. And then also just I love music, and I'm always listening to everything. And what was the recording process like? Because it sounds great, so I can only imagine what the recording process was like for that one.
This was, first of all, it was a blessing. It was a complete, God grants us favor in the most sometimes difficult circumstances.
Right.
This was a circumstance that was a little difficult, but I have a cousin. My cousin, his name is Stanley Brown, and he's a producer extraordinaire in the city. And when I initially went to him with some other things, he didn't have time. He honestly said, cuz I would love to work with you and work in this particular project with you, but I have my hands in so many different things, I really can't do it. So what I will do to help you is, once you get everything together, you bring it to me, and we'll go from there. So I got into a little situation where I wanted to do something very different than what the norm is nowadays, and the norm is basically people just take these songs, they redo them or whatever, but I wanted to do something a little different. The song is connected to a project, and the project has several different entities. The project is entitled The Colors of His Grace. The colors of His grace.
How many people know that? I got the exclusive on that project coming.
Well, a lot of people know it.
Okay.
But the colors of your grace has 7 entities. It deals with family. It deals with race. It deals with the textures of life. And so one of the difficult parts of life is fear. Is being able to overcome fears, have the courage to step out. I had the courage to step out and do something I've never done before, and it was like crazy. So I took the project to Stanley, and I said, this is a CCM song. This is not my song. This is someone else's song. This is kind of like the first time I've ever really put it out to this extent.
Right.
Tell me what you think about it. And he went ballistic. He just said, "Cut, you got something. You really got something. Okay, give me a couple days. I'll get back to you." Of course, it took it more than a couple of days. But he got back to me. He created a team of people. This team was extraordinary. A gentleman's name is Will Gamble. And some musicians I had worked with previously asked me, "Please, let me be a part of this. I believe in what I think you're doing, and I want to be a part of it." And some of them were just incredible. And they stepped in and they had this amazing sound. And we wanted to, we didn't want to go the mainstream. Now, I'm a gospel artist that sings all gospel, from traditional to contemporary to all kinds of stuff. We didn't want to go the choir contemporary route, the choir traditional route. So we took the song to the CCM, which is Christian contemporary music, that vein. Bethel music, Hillsong, Jesus culture. And we took it to the major producers who produced this music, and they mastered and mixed this music, listened to the music and said, we have not had, and this is the grace of God, this is just favor and the divine providence of God. We have not heard an artist yet who can take a rock country song and change the color of the song, change the color of the song and make it soulful. So the gentleman who was mixing it said, it brought tears to my eyes. And I know the artist who did this, but I had a different effect. Wow. And I just, I kind of froze because I couldn't believe they were saying what they were saying.
Right. It's a little flattering.
They sat back. It's more than flattering because you're actually accomplishing what you set out to do. It's one thing to have a goal or a vision, but when you accomplish the message in song, he just said, give me more, give me more. What else do you have? What else do you have? And so we're in the process of putting out another single.
Nice.
And all of these will be aligned under the auspices or the theme, the colors of your grace.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Very, very,
I like that
very,
idea.
very thankful.
And I can't wait to hear more.
Oh,
Can't wait to hear the next one. And I'm going to keep streaming this one on the platforms. Apple Music. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon Music. We're on Deezer, everything.
Wow.
We're going to stream it everywhere. And then we're going to continue to play it in the New Jerusalem Worship Center as well.
Thank you so much. One of the biggest, let me see if I can stick it in real quick. I'm on the plane and I'm listening to music. You sit on the plane, you plug your earphones in, and I hear it. But I thought that this would probably be somebody else's version and not my version because there's probably about 7 of them out. But it's my version and I'm listening to myself on the plane. And the person sitting beside me is, are you okay? I was like, just give me a moment. But that's just the grace. I'm so humbled by it all because sometimes bitter beginnings bring a tremendous sacrifice, but the end result is just amazing what God will do. It's amazing what He will do. So I'm grateful to New Jerusalem and to all of the people who support the music and support the worship every Sunday. It's a blessing. Amen.
And you can look at this as a new beginning because now that you're free, the weight is lighter. Those burdens are down. So when you go to tackle those new songs, we're going to get just as good as a message and a product. And we're going to keep striving.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Mr. Debi, I appreciate it. Thank you for sitting with me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.